Hi everyone. So I wanted to record this video because the other day I was taking a shower and I accidentally put the water too hot where it burned my leg, and it burned it so badly to the point where it made me very paranoid. Like um when someone gets in an accident and then there's trauma and paranoia that follow. Well, it's something like that. Like I'm afraid to suffer when I'm dying, or if I'm dying, I just don't see how people manage to. Well, I guess they're just cornered, and there's nothing they can do about it in that type of situation. Um, but it really made me super paranoid, and but I've been thinking a lot about the internet and hackers because the World Wide Web can be used as a weapon, like a pistol. When someone has a weapon, a gun, whatever, and they're like, hey, give me your money or else. What do people do? People give up their money, right? Or else their lives can be, or they could put their life in danger, they could inflict harm, and they could even really do what they're saying. So, um, we just never know how people are using the internet, the World Wide Web, and there's people out there who are hacking other people, and that's why I said that we should be somehow the phone should be filtering and making a list of who's around them at all times and stuff like that. Um, the last people that were around certain people. Um, like I can see at times people lose their phones. When people lose their phones, that's a big red flag. Like, is someone abducting this person and they left their phone there on purpose or an accident, but the people that are stealing them, did they put it there on purpose? And um because there's murders and stuff, and people don't even know where the people go. People become missing. People don't even know where they go, whatever. So, as soon as someone loses their phone, that should be like a red flag type of thing, like alert. Um, Especially if the cameras detect that the person somewhere else other than where the phone specifies that it's located, because people don't necessarily or whatever leave their phones, in in different places or in the hands of others. So anyway, I was just thinking about all that, And I was thinking about just the World Wide Web. But I guess everything else we just have to give to God and the professionals, because we're just ordinary people with like ordinary lives, I guess, and we just have to go with the flow. Because what else can we do? I mean, unless someone else comes and preaches a different message, and shares like potential or a different way. But how can someone know if they're not taught? You know what I mean? That's why we need the World Wide Web. And we need each other to, to share information and stuff like that. Because some people can be greedy. And, that's why I thank God for the World Wide Web as well. Because people that were once greedy, they could really, even if they're not greedy, but at least they could share with people that are in need. And people that are not in need won't be able to take from those that are really in need. So that's awesome, because the right help will go in the right hands. Because if there's a natural disaster and your life was impacted and someone else randomly came and stole your provisions in a desperate time, that would be fucked up, right? But some people just don't give a fuck, and they'll take advantage of those free handouts. So, it's like America's Funniest Videos. People laugh when people fall and trip or whatever the fuck the case may be. It's funny, right? It's very funny, right? Unless it's happening to you, right? You slip and fall. That shit ain't funny. You're left stranded somewhere. That shit ain't funny. In the middle of nowhere. That shit ain't funny. That shit's scary. Life-threatening situations. That shit is scary. You guys get the point, right? So it's like, yeah, we need the World Wide Web to assist us and to ensure that people's good deeds are going in the right hands, not people that just want to take advantage of those opportunities because they think it's like thievery. Some people are stealing from stores. They think it's okay and shit. And at times, people are really in need and they really need shit. No one really gives a fuck about all that. Especially in desperate times, like where someone is really hungry. Like people know and stuff like that. But I mean, honestly, I've been bitching and complaining a lot about money, and because honestly, I hear stories, people having millions of dollars. I hear stories, people having billions of dollars. Like, what the fuck? And here I am, like, I'm collecting EDD, which is fine, and I'm working with a local 185, so I'm not really tripping. Like, God's been taking care of me, and I'm thankful for that. But I mean, if I can get out of that and make millions and billions, why the fuck not? I'll be able to do some of the stuff that I spoke about, and the inventions that I came up with. And yeah, like really fucking bring them out, especially the homes, the concrete homes. I think that's a big one right there, because it will really help people out. Not because it will make me a lot of money, but because it will really help a lot of people. Even if we started doing that, like for custom homes as a starting point, because someone already has the money. Someone's going to, buy that kit home eventually. And why not, introduce them with this newer approach, this newer, way. And, it will be entirely up to them. But most likely, they will choose that route just because of all the extra security and less hassle, less maintenance. I don't know, all that stuff. And of course, everything has its pros and cons, but I'm believing that we can perfect it more and more. So, yeah, like that would be my goal, my plan. And of course, we all have wants and needs. There's nothing wrong with that. But I also feel for people, and I understand that there's a lot of people out there who just don't have anything, that are broken, that, they're sick, they can't get out of bed, or whatever the case may be. It's really sad. And there's a lot of inventions out there that can help people. So, like, really perfecting the internet so we can really help people in need. Because, I mean, if it was like on a list, I would be like at the very bottom of it. Like, Francisco's fine, don't pay no mind to him. But needless to say, or regardless, like, of all that, I have some good ideas, I think. Maybe they're not good ideas because no one has like reached out to me about them. No one has like called me. So I don't know. How is a person supposed to know? It's just like someone's out there suffering and dying from hunger. How are we supposed to know if we're just out here, you know? We just don't know. That's why I really believe in the World Wide Web, because if someone's hungry, they could at least type it up. I'm hungry. And then everyone can see, the internet can see if they go in a building, and that money will be only for food. So they'll get their food. Stuff like that. Now, so people won't be able to play us and deceive us. Because deception is one of the big keys why people don't want to give to people like on the streets, right? Because they think, oh, they're going to spend it on alcohol or drugs, whatever. I heard that before. That's why I know. And although that's not necessarily entirely true all the time, but that's a factor, right? So by putting money or whatever towards someone's, account for towards food, then and if someone's lying, then maybe the bank can look into the person's bank account and see if they're lying or not. I don't know, stuff like that, you know? We really need to look into that. See, because people will get angry about this. I understand, you know, especially gifts. Gifts are non taxable, right? You receive a gift, it's non taxable. But the World Wide Web is looking into how you got that money in the first place that you gave as a gift. And the person that claimed it, the internet is looking into that as well. So I could understand if people are doing some scandalous shit on the side, how they could get angry about all this. But there's real people out there who are dying, who are really suffering, who don't have a place to stay and shit like that. So we have to learn how to be content, and we have to learn how to work with one another for the greater good of humanity, not for ourselves and shit like that. That's why real organizations need to get involved and, you know, look into all this, investigate everything thoroughly with a lot of people in mind, not just a group of people that are going to dominate the world and take over. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you know, everyone, the people working together and making and ensuring that everything, you know, is running smoothly and stuff like that, you know, because there's law and order. There's no confusion. There's none of that. You know, but other than that, see, like, I could see myself getting involved with that and being a part of that. It'll give me a reason to, like, continue this life, you know, and to be a part of something. But other than that, is I feel like I'm just wasting my time and I just don't know what else to do. But I believe God is working in the behind the scenes. I believe in the churches, even though I don't believe and think that they're doing everything that they should be doing as far as 2001 is concerned, the year, how everything has updated. I think people are still trying to operate in the way things used to operate back in the 1990s, back in the 2000s, back in 2010. You know, we really need to educate ourselves in this respect and in this regard, or whatever you, however you want to put it, because I'm not smart, I don't know everything, but this is everything I see, you know. And like, I've been to church, I went to church a lot. um and like, I'm not perfect. There's still tithing that I need to give, and I've been battling against it. I don't know why though. I was doing so good, but you know, the EDD program, they gave me like 3,000, so I owe 300 to the church, and I'm like being stingy about it, and like a glutton, and I shouldn't be like that, you know. But then there's like a little bit of money, so I'm just like, fuck. But I just need to do it though, because I believe in what they do. They're helping people. And we can't say anything against them, because if we were in need, we would want a church and people to help us, you know, because we would understand how these people feel and stuff like that. So, anyways, I just wanted to say all that before I went to bed, because my heart is broken for people. Like, I love everyone. I really do. But, like they say, money won't fix every single problem. And we just have to go about everything in love and patience and long suffering. Everything that the Bible talks about. Because we just don't understand how everyone was raised. There's different people out there with different backgrounds, different history. So certain people react and act and they're just different because they grew up differently. They might have grown up very tough in a tough environment, broke or whatever. So, their tolerance for whatever is different than other people. So, I believe in the World Wide Web, and I believe it's going to assist us further and take us far beyond what we can dream or imagine. That's what I really and strongly believe. So anyway, whether I'm alive, whether I'm dead or alive, it doesn't fucking matter to me. But we just have to remember that we don't fight against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces. Like, we really need to focus on that. Seriously. I'm not just pulling anyone's leg and everyone's leg, or like being sarcastic. I'm being like truthful. I'm being honest. There's people out there who are like accidentally passing away. Accidents. And it's sad. Very, very sad. And I think we all need to be more exposed to that type of stuff, because it will make us realize what we're up against. Like, no one even has to threaten anyone anymore. Like, just driving a car is like, you have to be very careful and you have to be very alert because the cars can break down. Someone can accidentally hit you. You can accidentally hit someone. You can lose your concentration or whatever the case may be. And, it only takes a few seconds and boom. So, that's why we need to, if we're not going to be reading God's word, we need to hear it. And I haven't been doing that very often like I was before, but I need to. Like Psalms and Proverbs, it teaches people how to respond, how to behave, how to be respectful, and all that stuff. I think, if anything, I'm doing everything I'm doing to get the attention of the right people. That's all I'm fucking doing. So if you guys think, whatever you guys think about me is probably false. I'm nobody. I'm just like everyone else. Hello. I freaking smell, stink, fart, take a shit, forget to brush my teeth. I get bored. I love watching TV, movies. I hate when my charger doesn't work. I hate when my phone is dying. All that shit. I trip out how fast my hair grows out because I just like cut it and I'm like, what the heck? It already grew out. So then I have to cut it again. You know, like all these things. So I'm just like everyone else. And just like everyone else, I give God all the glory and all the praise. And that's all that matters. And I'll just leave it at that. God bless everyone. Happy 2021.